Live, Laugh, Larceny discusses true petty crimes that may be disturbing to some.
Or could be easy listening to all you psychopaths out there.
All stories are based on actual events, but details may vary.
Listener discretion is not advised.
Live,
Laugh.
Larceny. Welcome to Live, Laugh, Larceny. Behind every successful person, there's an ass that don't quit. This is Trevin.
And I am Amanda. Today, it is not just Trevin and I. We are joined by two longtime ghoul friends who love discussing topics that get them spooked. So if everyone could welcome to the show, Tara and Jessica, hosts of the podcast, Three Spooked Girls.
Hello.
Hey.
We're so glad to have you guys here to join us today.
We're glad to be here.
So excited. Thanks for having us.
From everything I read, the third spooked girl is a ghost, correct?
Yes. It's Kate the Bell Witch, which Tara and I became obsessed with when we started the podcast. So we had a third host and then life happened and it just kind of felt like a natural progression for us to have a ghost be our other host. So
I love that so much.
I have a ghost in the credits of something I did once. I did a solo album back about 8 years ago, just my own music. I was going through a breakup and needed to. I had a friend play guitar for me, but he was a very petty kind of shithead friend. He was a friend that I wasn't that good of friends with, I guess. I thought I was. Anyway, he recorded a guitar solo on the album for me and sent it to me. And it was very kind of out of time. So I edited the audio for timing, as any audio person would. And he sent me a very angry text and said, I can't believe you stole this idea from me. You stole the guitar idea. You played it poorly. And I don't want to be associated with your project ever again. Like, lose my name, forget who I am, all this stuff. I was like, all I did was edit your take. I didn't play your thing. So he told me, get his name off the credits and everything. And I'd already sent the album out to be printed. So I think I just put Ghost in the...
love it.
Because he didn't want his name in there, but I didn't play it. He kept saying I was playing the solo, and I was like, it wasn't me. So a Ghost is in my album credits.
I love that.
I love that.
Ghostly guitarist. So we are going to start the episode like we always do with some of our dreadful dilemmas. And we can go first. And if either of you have one you'd like to share with our listeners, feel free. So Trevin, would you like to go first today?
I do. I have a very short, dreadful dilemma, and it is that I had a bagel the other day. And
Okay.
that's the dilemma. I haven't had a bagel in such a long time, and I had one, and I just forgot what they're like. They're like glue bread. You bite into this weird little shell, and then it's just this sticky glue inside. Like, is it a weird yeast, or are bagels all just very processed? Like, what is the deal with these things?
Wait, okay, pause.
I feel like you had a bad bagel.
Yeah.
I had a bad bagel?
What?
Glue? I don't think this is a bagel issue. I think this is a very specific bagel.
Was it not baked all the way? I'm a little
Yeah.
scared.
Where did you get this bagel? What kind of bagel was it, Trevin?
Well, I got it from the bagel bag.
Oh.
Just a bag that we keep bagels in sometimes. I don't know where my wife finds these bagels. She just...
for goodness sakes. Was it a blueberry bagel?
It was a plain one. It might have been on one of those more healthier brands, but this thing was just so weird. And now it makes me think all bagels are this way. And I don't want to eat this glue bread.
No.
No, that's not how it should be.
I think it's very specific to that bagel because I have bagels on the reg and they're fine. I'll go to Starbucks and get a bagel and they're not glue in the middle. They're not, because I'm picturing what you're saying. It sounds like this was just like an underbaked bagel and then it's been sitting in a bag for a period of time.
Well, and Trevin, you are notorious for eating things that are expired. Emily has told me that about you.
Well, I just don't like to see things go bad.
Oh, well, Trevin, that was a bad idea. That was a bad bagel, my dude.
All right, I'll do some bagel research and get back with you guys.
You need to try it again, but a fresh one.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was a legit real bagel dilemma, and maybe it's not.
I know some gluten-free bagels can be a little weird because the texture.
I think it was from the health store, so it might have been a gluten-free one.
Well, that's your problem. You're just too healthy.
Ugh.
Well, I will go next. I also have a dreadful dilemma. It won't take a super long time to go through mine either, but I would love all of your feedback. So I went to our local grocery store the other day and I was with my dad. Shout out Papa Dennis. We talk about him a lot on the show.
Love Papa Dennis.
And I was with my oldest daughter, who is 6. And so my youngest was with my mom napping. We were grocery shopping, getting a few things. He had to stop by the pharmacy and whatnot. Basically, what I'm trying to say happened was that not one, but 2 different workers at the exact same grocery store thought that I was my dad's wife and that my daughter was our shared child. And I just got to know, do I look old AF or does my dad just look like a sugar daddy? I just need to know what's wrong.
Papa Dennis can get it, so I understand where that comes from.
I don't have context for Papa Dennis and like what he looks like.
But you don't look old.
You don't look old.
He is a silver-haired man.
And he won a contest for best legs once.
That's
so.
Okay.
That's a good one. That's a good one to have to brag about.
They're like, that changes things.
Once you get to, because I'm in my late 30s. And so I feel like once you kind of get to that point, it doesn't really matter like the person you're dating or you're with. And I live in Sacramento and there are a lot of like older men with younger women type situations. So I don't think I would have batted an eye. I have definitely, like with my ex-husband, somebody asked me if he was my father once and he was 2 years younger than me and I died laughing every time. Like I posted a video about it and every time it comes back, one, now that he's my ex, it's like a little bit of extra petty. I'm like, ha, you look like an old man. But like also the fact that like we were at a farmer's market and the guy was just like, you should share with your dad. And I was like looking around, like, did my dad pop up somewhere? And he like points to my then boyfriend, now ex-husband. And I was like, he's my boyfriend. He's younger than me. And I died. So.
See, and maybe that's what the store employees were trying to avoid, right? Like maybe they didn't want to offend me if I was, in fact, his wife. But I was just like, whoa, Betsy's. I am certainly not his wife. I am his daughter. So it was just bizarre to me. But that did make me feel a little bit better what you just said. So do either of you have anything dreadful going on in your life right now?
I don't think. Do you?
I mean, it's just my air conditioning.
Yeah, you could tell that. That
my
was a whole
only
thing.
dreadful dilemma.
Right. That's actually the most dreadful thing I've heard in a long time.
It had been acting weird and then it like went out Saturday morning. I woke up and I had it set at 70 and it was 80 degrees in the apartment. It was terrible.
And you live where, right? You live in Arizona?
Sacramento.
Oh, Sacramento.
Which could be at this point Arizona because of how hot it's been. I keep laughing every day. I send Tara screenshots of like the little weather notification. It'll be like, tomorrow it'll be 106, 4 degrees cooler than yesterday. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to see every day.
Holy hell.
Yeah, it's been terrible.
It's like, that is not reassuring. Like,
no. And it's so weird because Sacramento in the summer, there's always people out doing things. But like if you drive around, there's no one because it's too hot.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine. We live in Missouri, so it's been kind of hot and stuff like that too. But just the other night, we had 70-mile-per-hour winds randomly for like 30 minutes. And I was like, what?
I know Tara's supposed to get rain. And I'm like, I hate you so much.
Oh, yeah. You probably want rain at this point.
You want me to bottle some and mail it to you?
Please. It's so nice.
Oh, sorry, guys. My husband was just video calling me.
He knew.
He always knows when people are talking about his legs.
The hairs on his legs stand up.
That was a good one. Well, Tara, if you don't have a dreadful dilemma, then I do have a game. If you all would like to start that segment. So usually we will do a little bit of a segment where we talk about some weird facts, and today is no different. And I wanted to create a game that kind of went along with what both of our podcasts talk about. So you're more into spooky things. We're more into kooky things. So I created Spooky Kooky Trivia. Whoa. Trevin, we do not have the rights to say that.
Let's have a fun time.
I love it. Jess is going to win.
So let's play a game, okay, where there are going to be multiple choice answers. They will either be spooky or kooky, with only one answer being correct out of the 3 options given. What we will go ahead and do, and I'll probably have you read the first round, Trevin.
All right.
Which one of you would like to go first?
Jessica can go first.
Oh, okay. This is our life. She just is like her. And I'm like, I'm here.
I love it. So, Trevin, you'll read Jessica's questions first, and then I will read Tara's. You'll each get 3. And I do have a tiebreaker just in case you both tie.
Okay.
So round number 1, question number 1. Which of the following people was quoted saying, "I have a perfect cure for a sore throat. Cut it." Is it A, serial killer BTK, B, horror film director Alfred Hitchcock, or C, comedian Chris Rock?
I feel like Tara knows this one and I don't.
No, I don't. I mean, I think I might.
From the look of her face, I was like, she knows.
I
She
thought
knows.
you did too.
Oh, but see, here's the thing. I want to say Chris Rock because of the fact that like it's so obscure that like why would he be in this? Like BTK probably, but then I'm gonna go B. I'm just gonna go B. I don't know why.
And you got it right.
Woo!
Yeah. That was my guess too.
Nobody saw that coming. That answer was like nowhere.
I know. You're like,
Yeah.
A, C, no, B.
I love that about trivia. We do that same thing where we'll think our thought process through and we'll lean so hard one and then go completely the other one when we finally decide.
Having played trivia on a team in like a bar, I feel like if I'm like so sure of an answer, it's wrong. So I'm like, nope, don't trust it.
No, you got it, though. It was Alfred Hitchcock. Ugh.
So question number 2. In 1969, a county in which U.S. state made it illegal to kill Bigfoot? Is it A, Washington, B, Maine, or C, Texas?
Damn. I really want to say Washington, but like I lived in Maine for a couple years and I would not put it past them to have a law like that. So this is really tough. Well, I'm going to say Washington. And if I broke our streak, I'm sorry.
It is Washington.
It's like, it has to be.
Yeah.
Okay, so both of them got it correct. Oh, my goodness.
It says Skamania County, Washington passed a law in 1969 deeming the slaying of Bigfoot to be a felony and punishable by 5 years in prison.
Oh my God, that's a really harsh penalty.
Yeah, the law was later amended designating Bigfoot as an endangered species.
It's no longer an active law, but it definitely was for a while.
That's
You know,
so cool.
as someone who works so close to laws being made, I have so much more respect for this because of the fact that it's not just like, okay, we're going to make this law, but like, I guess at a county level, it's a little easier, but you still have to like go through committees and get people to vote.
Right, right,
I would have liked to watch those hearings.
right. They're like, this is why Bigfoot deserves to live.
You bring in experts. I just like, who are the experts? I'm really excited.
Oh my God, that would be a good one. You're right.
It would easily be my favorite law if I was like working in the laws.
Yeah.
Question number 3. Which popular condiment was once sold as medicine in the 1830s? Is it A, ketchup, B, mustard, or C, mayonnaise?
I don't know why. I think it's mayonnaise.
Because of lice.
I think it's mayonnaise. And I'm probably wrong. It's probably ketchup, but I'm going to go with mayonnaise.
Well, you were right in the sense that you were wrong in that it's ketchup.
Oh,
So you got it wrong.
It says ketchup was used to cure ailments like diarrhea, indigestion, and jaundice.
wow.
Isn't that wild? I feel like ketchup gives you acid reflux and indigestion.
Gonna say.
What?
It must not be like the ketchup we have today.
Yeah.
Something's off here. Okay, well, I will go ahead and read the next 3 then. So we are on to question number 4. Okay, so this one's for Tara then, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the state of California, it is illegal to eat what? A, frogs in jumping contests, B, cow dung, or C, orange or yellow snails.
What was the second one?
cow dung.
Okay. Why do I feel like that would definitely need to be a law? Like, me and her came from a very rural area. So I'm just like, I can see a side of this. Oh, no. I'll just pick that one. I don't even care.
The B, cow dung? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, you are incorrect on this one. The correct answer is A, frogs and jumping contests. So the law states that should one of the poor creatures pass on or be killed during the competition, however, it must be destroyed as soon as possible and may not be eaten or otherwise used for any purpose.
Oh.
I don't know what people were trying to do with frogs and jumping contests before this law, but something was obviously amiss.
It just feels weird to talk about a frog and hear it must be destroyed as soon as possible.
That person just didn't like frogs. It's fine.
Yeah.
Also, when in California was jumping frog competitions like such a big deal that they were like, okay, guys, we got to make actual laws, not just rules, but actual laws about this.
I know, again, this is another hearing that I'd be like, would love to be a fly on the wall.
Oh my God.
And why does it have to be a life or death contest?
For real.
I don't know, but there's a lot of pressure being a jumping frog. So we're on to question 5. The shortest war in history was the Anglo-Zanzibar War in 1896. Approximately how long did this war last? Was it A, 1 day, B, 5 hours, or C, 40 minutes?
5 hours?
And you're incorrect.
40 minutes, isn't it?
It was actually 40 minutes.
I knew it. Like, part of me was like, it's 40 minutes, but I was like, that is too weird.
It's really weird. And I should have wrote down more information about it. I didn't. But basically what happened is there were 2 people that wanted the same area, and one of them just brought all the troops and rushed on in, and the other guy fled. So 40 minutes it was.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Crazy it's even considered a war.
I know. I'm like, that seems more like a skirmish.
Like an attack and a fleeing, yeah.
Right.
but it is documented as the shortest war. So
Okay.
So what are we at now, Trevin?
So if Tara can get this one right, she will break the tie. It's 1-1 right now.
We're doing terrible, Tara.
All right, Tara. So let's see if we need the tiebreaker or not. Let's see if you get this one correct. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Which of the following brunettes were actually born a natural blonde? Was it A, actor Daniel Radcliffe, B, serial killer Ted Bundy, or C, the King of Rock, Elvis?
Elvis.
You are the winner!
I knew that.
Yeah.
I was like, damn it, I knew that.
I know, you got the war one. I'm so sorry I made you go first.
It's okay.
Now, to be fair, I did not look up to see if the other 2 were also blondes growing up, but like Elvis dyed his hair to be darker. I didn't even know that until when I was coming up with these questions. So,
Love it.
wow. Well, congratulations.
Woo.
You definitely deserve that. That was probably the most random game of trivia known to the earth.
It was great.
So, do either of you want to share with us a petty crime that you've committed? It's okay. Your secrets are safe with us.
It's fine because if I tell the story, it implicates both of us. So,
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Tara and I have been friends for like 17 years. So we got up to shenanigans in our younger days. And like one of the things that we used to do quite often is, like Tara said earlier, we come from a very rural town. Like literally the town that I lived in had less than like 1,500 people in the incorporated town. And then the town that she lived in was like actually like people would go. Like I would go grocery shopping in that town because it was a bigger town and it had like 8,000 people.
Not even. I think it
Not
was
even.
like maybe 7.
Yeah.
Super tiny. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can relate. I didn't have a grocery store either in my town, and we had less than 1,000. So yeah,
We had a grocery store, but it was like really expensive because it was such a small town, like a small store. So it was like a place that you went to like grab something last minute, like at least for me. And we would go like into another town. Actually, most of the time we would drive like 30 minutes to Costco because it made it more sense. But a lot of times at night, we would just get really bored because there's nothing to do. And we would just drive around. And people don't really question why like young women are buying Ratchet sets ever. So we bought a Ratchet set and kept it in my car. And we would drive around and we would collect road signs at night.
nice.
A mutual friend of ours had like this room in like her grandparents' garage, and it was like our hidey hole.
All of them.
We literally like cleaned it out and turned it into like a clubhouse, and it was just like covered in road signs. And so if a road sign had someone's name in it, we would go steal it for them.
Oh, okay.
We got
So
really good at it.
did you ever have to like climb up super high to get a sign, or were you always just doing like the street signs on the poles?
We got high, like typically it'd be like back my car up to it.
Yeah. We made someone stand on her car before because we
Yeah.
went and saw, what was that movie? The Happening?
The M. Night movie with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh my God, yeah.
The one
we
that
went
we
and saw
hate.
that, and then we
Deschanel.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I don't remember anything about it. Just walking out being like, what the fuck did I watch? Like, what did we do that for? So the 3 of us went and stole a sign. And I'm pretty sure that time, because he was pretty tall, but not tall enough. So we made him stand on like her trunk so we could take it.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Seriously, Tara and I have both seen The Happening, and we don't know anything about it except for there was like a scene with it, like a lawnmower in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it.
Don't. It's a
Don't.
waste of your time. There are people out there who are like, I really like that movie. I don't know what it was. We watched it and then walked out and we're like, can we see anything else? But yeah.
My favorite part of that movie is just how bad of an actor Mark Wahlberg is in it. And there's a lady she's a very paranoid person who's like living alone in a house trying to stay alive. And Mark Wahlberg comes up and she's like, you're just wanting to come up here and hurt me, aren't you? You just want to like beat me up or something. And he goes, what? No, ma'am. And it's like exactly like that.
Oh, no. No. I can see it.
Wait, is this supposed to be a horror movie?
It's like a suspense thriller.
With Mark Wahlberg and Zooey Deschanel?
Mm-hmm.
It was the last M. Night movie did before he went into hiding for a while and then came back to make movies again.
It was really weird. I do remember the ending of this movie, which is that somehow they got separated into 2 different buildings and like something was in the air. And like once it like affected you, you like went crazy and died or like killed yourself or something. Mm-hmm. And they like looked at each other through windows. They're like, we're going to walk to each other and then just die together. Like them and their child or a child. I don't know if it was their child. You know how in horror movies, sometimes people just happen upon children and like suddenly they're their family. I don't remember if that was that, but they just like were like, okay, we're going to go die. And then like the wind died down and they didn't die. And I was like, what the frick? I was really mad at it.
Like you were ready for them to go.
Yeah. Because I'm like, come on, there's got to be a twist ending. And then there wasn't it. And I was like, I don't like the twist ending is that it sucked really bad.
The trees were dispersing something into the air, and if I remember right, it was just a happenstance thing of like, the trees just decided to stop, and it just kind of feels like love made it happen.
Wow. Okay, that's corny as hell. We got to watch that together for Patreon or something.
Oh my God,
Oh,
yes,
boy.
do it.
The whole time they're going to be like, they said it was terrible.
Right. I'll be like, we're not watching this because we like it, okay?
And it's not scary in the traditional sense either. It's scary for just being bad.
Oh,
yeah.
Good Lord. Well, and apparently it makes you want to act out on your criminal ways because immediately after you saw it, you stole a sign.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
My husband used to steal signs as well. And he would even take them from construction sites or, yes, of course, like the road signs too. But did you guys ever do that? Or did you ever like steal one of the signs from like a bar? Or was it strictly only the street signs?
I feel like probably at some point we stole the other things. I mean, we did have an impressive orange cone collection for a while.
Oh, okay.
Which Or like orange cones are haunting my life now. I just have to say, I'm going to tell this April Fool's joke because I don't think I've shared it enough and it's quite funny. I kept Tara like, she was part of this. So probably like mid-March, my friend, he has this like really nice Beamer and he goes out to his car and there's like a cone behind it, just like sitting behind his car. And he's like, the fuck? Okay. Like maybe they were moving stuff. So he like moves the cone, goes about his business, comes back to work the next day, does the same thing. Mind you, this is at like my work in our parking structure. So people have limited access to it.
Okay.
And the next day he comes out and there's a cone behind his car. He's like, okay, this is weird. He's going through his like master's program, the University of Southern California. So he was like, oh, I have my license plate cover now. Maybe someone from like UCLA, because the big rivalry, there's a bunch of UCLA grads. And they're like, maybe that's who's doing this. This keeps going on. It gets to the point where he actually goes to HR and is like, someone is harassing me and putting cones behind my car. And they're like, oh no, we will look into this. They call security and they do this whole thing. So then he takes the cone. A group chat has started because like I'm the EA in his department. So I just get pulled in and like all this stuff. And there's a group chat about it. It's me and HR and like a couple other people. And we just keep talking about this. And so the next day he comes out, there's a new cone. It's a brand new cone behind his car.
No
like
way.
It's never been seen before. We're like, what the heck? He takes that cone. The next day he goes to leave. There's one of those like folding, you know, those like construction, like caution, don't walk here signs. There's one of those with like caution tape wrapped around his car.
What?
This has been going on for so long. He's like paranoid. He's like, what the hell is happening? I have no idea what's going on. I am literally on team. This is crazy. Something is happening. Someone's harassing him. I realize it's a prank and I'm very mad that I didn't think of this prank.
Right. You're like, at least let me in on this, whoever's doing it.
Right. This is hilarious. So on April 1st, not even thinking that it's April Fool's Day, we all decide, everyone in this group decides to go to lunch together. And we're sitting there and we're at lunch and my friend Christina comes late. She works with us. And I was like, what the heck is happening? It was HR. It was our HR guy and like our friend Nellie, who's another EA. They were doing this to him. And he's like reporting this to HR this whole time.
Stop it.
He's getting like our operations guy involved. It's this whole big thing.
He's like, I'm being harassed. I need this documented. And like, can you imagine being the HR person, like writing up the report, like, oh yeah, that's
calling security. So when we got back from lunch, the first person that he accuses of it is me. Like just straight up. Like, you did this. I was like, I wish I had done this. This is hilarious. Mine mainly because of your reaction, but they were. It's funny because they were having to go out because every time he would put something in his car, they'd have to go out and steal a new cone from somewhere.
My God, this is the HR person out here stealing cones. I love it.
He's like texting the group that's part of this, like, hey, and it was really funny because they could like watch him leave, or when he'd get here, they'd run down and do it.
They'd be like, alert, alert, the eagle has landed, the eagle has landed. Go ahead and put the cone behind the car now. Go, go, go.
Pretty much. So when we get back from lunch that day, there's like the little mini cones, like that you like have at recess, like those kind of cones all in our office. And then they tell us like it's been this April Fool's prank, but it had like leaked out into all of these people. So for Brandon's birthday, who is the person who was being harassed by this, we are going to cone his office. I'm in the process of figuring out how to basically like build a giant cone so it'll look like it's coming out of the ceiling.
Oh my God.
Ooh, you know what? You should see what Nate's 3D printer capabilities are, because you could always piece it together to put it on the ceiling.
We thought about that. It would be, we've circumferenced it. It's too big. Nate's like, yeah. But we're going to like basically make it look like he's a Pixar character about to get like hidden under a cone. I'm so excited.
Oh
That's so
my
cute.
God. I mean, you could definitely make something out of so many different materials. You could even do it out of like cardboard or something and paint it.
We were actually thinking if we got cardboard and then just like put poster paper on it.
Oh, yeah.
Or even if we got like thicker poster paper to make the cone itself and then do cardboard around the outside. We've put a lot of thought into
No, this is beautiful and brilliant. And oh my goodness. I mean, honestly, he should feel so loved that this has become such a thing.
I think you should be worried. Like all of these people can keep a secret and just gaslight him this long about cones?
Oh.
What else are you capable of?
That was the thing. It was like, he thought it was me for the longest time. I was like, I swear on like everything holy, it's not me. I would immediately fess up to this because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, it has to be one of them. And I was like, they would never, Brandon. They know how upset you are. Fully knowing that it's one of them, but not sure which one it was. I thought it was our friend Nate. Like, I really thought it was our friend Nate because this is hilarious. So he's actually like, Nate has 3D printed us all these like little tiny cones. And outside of our HR's office, there's like probably a dozen.
Oh my God.
And it's hilarious because it's just there. And our Spencer, who's our HR guy, is like, it's a caution. Don't need to come to HR. Caution. And I was like, it's so great. And I was like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Wow. This happened on an episode of ours not long ago. Is one of my dreadful dilemmas is that I took a picture of this group of older people that were friends, and I took their picture, and one of the old ladies was like, oh, you should be in HR, honey. And I didn't know if I should take offense to this or not, but this HR person sounds like a hoot.
Oh my gosh, Spencer is the best. It's nice because like one, I'm friends with him, so I can come in and be like, I'm very upset about this, and he'll listen as a friend. But then every once in a while, he'd be like, I gotta put my HR hat on.
Yeah,
but he keeps our office like literally in stitches. He's hilarious.
Wow.
And,
yeah, I just always thought an HR person was always had to be a rule follower, but now I can see that that's not always the case.
I would say out of like most of the people that I've known in an HR position, they are like the worst of the worst and following rules because they know all the rules and they know like what the true ramifications of each rule is. Like you might not know. So you're like, oh, it's worse. But like, oh, I just love Spence. He's great.
Wow. Yeah, that changes things for me.
How many signs would you say you stole altogether?
A lot.
And this
'Cause we'd
was
also
years,
give them
right?
to yeah.
Yeah.
Probably like 3.
Probably like 50.
Yeah.
No
At
way.
least.
That's a ton.
Well, because like they're not that hard to steal if you know where to go. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And now as like a full-fledged adult, I thought about this. I was like, those cost so much money.
Right.
We lived in a rural area. Like, where the
We're
fuck
just
were they
bopping
getting
them
this
off.
money? Tara, we're the reason why the potholes never got filled.
Are we though?
You guys had potholes too? Oh my God. Yes.
They were too busy like putting the sign back up for the pothole.
Actually,
Okay.
that makes a lot of sense because I grew up in a small town with potholes and we didn't have street signs. We had boulders with the names carved in them. They were like, they're not going to steal boulders. That must be why. They're like, they can't lift this.
But like we fully had a Ratchet set in my trunk. Like my dad found it once and he's like, why do you have a Ratchet set? And I was like, I don't know. Though he should have known there was like a stop sign in my room. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know where he thought I got that.
It's like, Dad, I just need to be prepared in life. Like, don't come for me. Just hold up your stop sign. Stop. We do not need to discuss this any further.
Like in rural areas, they're really kind of easy to steal. Not that I'm like,
Not that you're encouraging it.
yeah. Especially if like there's like long straight roads with a bunch of signs, you can like clear 10 signs in a night because it's just like there's no one out there. Like you're the only car.
You're in the country. Like there's orchards and nothing.
Yeah, right. And everyone who lives out there knows where they're going. And like, they're not looking at the street signs anyway. Come on.
They know the place
They're
like
like,
the back of their
turn
hand.
right and down this dirt road. Watch out for the giant pothole, and then you'll make a U-turn, and then there you go. They don't need street signs. I don't feel too bad. I think you guys are fairly tame petty criminals in comparison to some of the things Trevin and I have unfortunately done. So don't worry. You're fine.
But they've done it so many times.
Yeah,
At
the
this point, it's
quantity is impressive.
Yeah.
It's a serialized thing.
And you
for
never
sure.
got caught. Like no local like sheriff pulled up and was like, "Get out of here."
No, I mean, cars would pull up, but you just pretend like you had a flat tire. Like you just finished fixing a flat tire. Or, I mean, this is one of those things like in a rural area, people get out to use the restroom on long drives. So like you just
True.
pretend like you have like a guy friend who's down a little bit, going to the restroom, and you're just like waiting for him.
Yeah.
You know?
Like just a dude trying to pee in the woods. Nothing to see here.
I don't think we ever got caught. Also, one of our friends, her aunt was like on city council. Like the friend whose house that we would store them in, it was like her father-in-law's house. I kind of feel like if anyone was like, where are the signs? They're like, well, they could just go get the signs. I knew where they were.
Right. And what happened? Did you each get to keep some, or are they still in that shed?
I have no idea where the signs are. We gave away a lot too. Like people would be like, I want this. And be like, okay, because we could just go get another one.
Right. Right. Well, I guess if you ever wanted to decorate your current places with signs, you two know how to get them.
They're very heavy. I want to point that out. Like most people don't think signs are heavy. Stop signs are really heavy.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to be prepared for like, you have to be quick.
And they're pretty big.
Yeah. Like when you try to take them off. Way back in the day, I dated a guy who had a last name of like a freeway exit of ours. Like, and he and his friends stole the freeway exit sign.
No.
And I walked into his house and it was there. And I was like, I feel like
It's worth it, yeah.
That's worse than what we did.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, you took a whole freeway exit sign.
Yeah, no.
They're so big. It was like the whole wall of this place was just this. I was like, okay.
Holy crap. Like one of the ones that are on the top?
No, it was like on the side of the road. Like,
Okay. I
yeah.
see. Yeah. I keep thinking everyone's like going so high up to get these signs. I'm like, did they go up onto a skyscraper to get it?
No.
No, we don't have those.
So have you two thought about getting back in the game, one final score?
We're too old now. We're
Yeah.
actually adults. I was a minor, so.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't think I would do it now.
Mm-mm.
I shared this on one of our very, very first episodes, but one of my things I used to take was American flags when I was in college. And with it being the 4th of July recently, I've seen so many American flags. And I mean, obviously, I'm not going to do that now. I don't have a room for them anymore. I don't like, why would I do that? I know it's wrong. But there was a small part of me that was like, well, this would be the place to go if I ever wanted to do that again.
You have children, Amanda.
Gotta clean up my act.
But the question is, like, what would you do if your children started stealing American flags? Like, do you come down hard and be like, don't do that? Or you're just like, this is apparently genetic.
You know what? My kids are so young that I haven't had to really deal with them committing a ton of crime yet. But one day, if they do, the parent side of me is like, yeah, I should be like, no. But just the regular human side of me is like, yeah, I've probably done all of that and some. So it's going to be an interesting road when I get there.
I imagine you'll be pretty understanding.
Yeah, I'll be like, no more flags, okay? That's got to be the last one.
Your cap is 5.
Trevin, or did I give myself the name Patriot Poacher? I did. So yeah, maybe there will be some Patriot poaching in the DNA. I don't know, but we'll just have to see.
I feel like all kids at some point steal. Like, I definitely stole a bracelet from like a Macy's when I was a little kid, like one that cost a lot of money. And my mom was like, what do you have? And I just apparently, they were looking at jewelry and I swiped it off the counter and put it on and walked out of the store with it. And my mom made me return it.
She did. I was just about to ask. Okay.
My mom was like, you need to return this. And I was like, why? And, it was like 3 or 4. She's told me the story so many times. Like, she's like, you just didn't want to give it back. And finally the lady was like, you have to give it to us or you'll go to jail. And I was like, fine. Like,
Wow. That's kind of traumatic.
How old were you?
like 3 or 4. The thing is at this point in time, I'd already stolen other things and they let me keep them. I stole something at a yard sale once. It was like these 2 dolls and I was like obsessed with them. But my mom didn't want to buy them for me. I just kept carrying them around and I tried to leave with them. And my mom was like, no, you have to give them back. And I started like throwing a temper tantrum.
Right.
And the lady was like, she can have the dolls. And so I think at that point I was like, okay, I just know that if I steal something and then cry about it, I will get to keep it.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't work with diamonds, I don't think.
They had to take action this time.
They were like, I see this in the future. Apparently didn't talk about not stealing street signs.
Yeah, I mean, nobody really tells you that,
And I don't even know why we started doing it or how we got into it.
Just for the hell of
They're
it.
there. You're in a small town.
We must have seen one that was like really easy to steal. I mean, for the fact that we had an actual Ratchet set in the car.
We were committed.
So premeditated.
We had to be like, well, this would be easier if we did it this way. So
Wow. I'm just impressed, honestly. I really am.
I like the mind for efficiency.
Mm-hmm. Well, did you have any other petty crimes you wanted to discuss, anybody, today?
Mine's not exciting, but I'll tell you, it'll take 2 seconds. There's only one time in my life that I've actually shoplifted.
Mhm.
I was about like 8 or 9 years old, and I went to Walmart with my cousins who are older than me. And my cousin Chris, he's passed away now, but this is like a favorite memory with him. He told me he'd give me a pack of Pokemon cards if I quit being a little baby and stole something from Walmart.
So did he follow through?
Yeah, I stole a lip gloss and I was so scared. And we left and he gave me a freaking pack of Pokemon cards. I was like, well, damn. But I never did anything else. That was the end of that.
Were there good cards in it?
Yeah, any holographics?
I don't even remember, if I'm being honest with you. Hopefully it was worth it.
I hope for your sake that it was. Oh my gosh. I don't think I ever stole anything really small like that. I would always like paint my nails in the store though and just walk out. But I don't think I ever took anything like that.
I actually like that you're just like, hold on. It's got to dry. Second coat. Come on.
Like, excuse me. Oh, clean up on aisle 3. My bad. You know?
I'm just like envisioning a young you like sitting in front of like the nail polish with like a little cotton pad because there's probably the nail polish remover right there. Just giving yourself a little mani. And you know, like the Walmart employees or whoever is just like walking by like
They're just shaking their heads. Yeah, they're just like,
somebody's kid.
that asshole. Oh my God. But lip gloss, that's a pretty good grab, I'd say, you know? And you got a Pokemon card set out of it. Like, what?
I know.
I like that your lesson was I got something out of stealing and I got a reward for stealing.
Right.
And then you were like, I'm never doing it again. Whereas like most people would have been like, oh my God, I got a lip gloss and Pokemon cards. I'm stealing all the time.
No, see, because I was already watching America's Most Wanted at that point, and I was so scared that the police were going to come arrest me for stealing a probably $2 lip gloss, if that. I was like so scared.
You're waiting to see your face on America's Most Wanted?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I
Waiting
love
for my
that.
moment.
They're like, she took a strawberry lip gloss from Walmart. Everyone keep your eyes peeled.
It's like Forensic Files does the whole thing on you.
Oh my God. No, that would work more for the nail polish because you put it back.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true. Well, so were your cousins, was that like their thing? Is that why they wanted you to do it too? Or was it just like a peer pressure?
Yeah, I think it was just they just wanted me to do something. My first cousin was like 4 years older than me. So, you know, like middle school. And then our older cousin was like driving age. So
It was your initiation or something.
pretty much, yeah.
Oh my God, I love that. Older cousins are always trying to get the younger ones in trouble. I swear to God. It's like a rite of passage.
Mine just threw knives at me.
Well,
Yours were
damn.
just trying to murder you.
Yeah, he had me and my other cousins line up against a wall, and he would just throw knives trying to stick them in the wall. And luckily, he just never hit us.
Absolutely not. He needed to be
Did
grounded.
you ever tell an adult?
He got caught, and then my uncle watched my dad spank him.
What the hell?
Well, this was the 90s.
I know, 90s.
Even still, I feel like this is a very like underrated punishment. Like your child threw knives at my kid and I'm just going to spank your child. I'd be like, I'm calling the police. Your child is murdering my kids. It's attempted murder.
Yeah, I can't even remember how old he was, but yeah, he was at least 15.
Did he turn
and
out
we
to
were-
be okay?
Yeah.
I saw him at a funeral not too long ago, and he seemed pretty cleaned up, actually.
Oh, good. Okay. So he's not throwing knives anymore.
Yeah, good for him.
That we know of.
That we know of.
Because I think those like circus acts where people like threw knives, like that's where my mind went. Like, did he want to be in the circus?
I think he just thought throwing knives was cool. He was a huge Spawn fan, so I mean, Spawn shot a lot of like projectile stabby stabs, so maybe he just wanted to be like Spawn. I don't know. He was an edgy kid. He was an edgelord for sure.
Yeah, well, and he clearly liked the danger of having you as like a little target as well. It wasn't just like he liked throwing knives at walls. He's like, go stand over there. Like, what the hell?
You got to raise the stakes, just like the frog hopping contest. If it's not life or death, is it even fun?
I just like that you went along. You're like, okay, I'm going to do this. How old were you?
I was probably like 6.
Oh my God.
I was young and didn't know any better, and it was a power dynamic situation, I'm sure.
Wow.
This wasn't like you were 12 and we're like, okay, I'm just going to go do it. But like now I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was uncomfortable about it, but also speaking up felt more uncomfortable. So I just like, he doesn't seem to have that good of aim, which actually is bad. So
Yeah, seriously.
It's having the opposite effect.
Oh my God, Trevin. Holy shit.
I did want to share one little crime with you guys.
Okay.
As you guys know, we take our stories and build them into these long stories. So we always try to make sure that, it's a story that we feel we can ethically make a big joke out of and everything. So I came across this one that actually just happened last month, and I got really excited. It was a naked man wearing a ski mask, like running around. And I was like, that's so exciting. I want to tell this story. And I read a little bit more into it, and this will happen. I'm sure, Amanda, we don't talk about it that much, but there's times you'll have a headline that you think is so good, and then you'll get to it. And because we're trying to be like the no sad feelings show, I don't want to do anything that's going to be too problematic. So I ended up looking at this thing, and in Mobile, Alabama, there was this man who's wearing a black ski mask, and I guess there's been multiple incidents, but he's completely naked, and he's this jacked, like super buff guy, which makes it way more frightening to me. And see, in my head, when I see naked guy running around with a ski mask, I think he's like, hee, look what I got, being silly. And that's what I was hoping to write. But then when I see that this guy is just this like crazy, strong, brute predator type guy who's just running around, it's frightening. But I guess one of the people had ran in and like locked the door, and they caught him on the camera walking down the hallway real quick, seeing the camera and then turning around and then going back. And all you see is just like this big black ski mask and then these huge buff shoulders, and just the frightening look of this figure's seeing the camera and then turning and running away real quick. I was like, I can't tell this story because I was just frightened watching that. It was like the Alien in Signs when you see it real quick and you're like, oh, fuck. Like,
oh, no. That's
what I felt about this naked ski mask guy. So I just thought the crime itself is interesting, but, I'm not going to make a joke out of it. But it's frightening. Like, that's a very frightening petty crime. And I thought, we can only talk about something like that in a discussion way and not in a story way.
Right. So what was he doing? Just breaking in and being naked and running around? Did he steal anything?
No, he didn't break in. He chased people on the streets.
Oh, okay.
And so that was why he was caught on that Ring camera, because I guess he like ran into a woman's apartment and she got in and locked the door. And as he had come around, he saw the camera and turned around and ran back out of the building real quick. But just seeing this giant brute of a man in nothing but a ski mask, that's a scary thing to think about.
Yes. I would much rather take a frail naked man than a ripped naked man coming after me. I'd take a frail naked all day.
Yes.
I'm totally Googling this right now. I have to.
Yeah, did you say his name, or was he arrested for this?
He wasn't arrested. Right now, there's just a lot of people who have got sightings of him and stuff, and there's only that quick doorbell camera of the person.
So I don't even know.
I just thought that is so scary, and we try to do our best to not make jokes of things that are actually like really bad, but that is one of those things that I thought, wow, that is a real thing, and people should know about that in just a scary way.
Yeah, no, streaking, it's not always a laughing matter.
Remember like in 2013 when people were obsessed with dressing up as clowns and like chasing people through parks?
Yes.
This is what this gives me, but like naked guy. And I would be so attacked because I would just be like, what am I looking at? And I would just freeze. Like, you're telling me people were running away. I'd be like, what is happening?
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to react. I would be too busy processing it to even have a physical reaction to it.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, there's a naked dude running in a ski mask. And the fact that he's jacked, I'd be like, I don't know. He's not Will Ferrell. Because I immediately think streaker and I immediately think of like old school. Like Will Ferrell's character running. Like that's the first thing I think of. But like not Will Ferrell.
Right.
Yeah, no, I don't like it.
Wow. And where was this again, Trevin?
Mobile, Alabama.
In Alabama. And he never like grabbed a woman or anything. He just was chasing them around in the ski mask.
Yes.
Wow, that is so freaking weird and awful.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened if he did catch one. Hopefully they catch the guy first. But
Yeah.
all I know is just that video scared me, just the quick sighting of him. And I feel bad for anybody that did see that guy.
Yeah. Remember the story that I told about the guy who he was wearing a Halloween mask and then he went inside a Walmart and he dumped 1 gallon of 2% and 1 gallon of chocolate milk on his head.
Yeah, he had like the demon mask.
Yes, he wasn't ripped at all. So I felt not as threatened as I would with this guy, I think.
But he also didn't seem like he was doing anything to people specifically. He was trying to go straight to the milk to pour it on his head and get the hell out of there.
And his friend was videoing it. And it was like a dare or whatever. So yeah, there are definite differences, but that one just came to my mind.
I'm sure many people screamed and ran away from him and he was okay with it.
Like, where's the whole milk?
Where I live, there's a lot of unhoused. And I guess maybe at first I was like, oh, a naked guy, because that happens a lot, especially in the summertime. And my brother, he came to visit me and he's like, oh my God. He's like the 5 blocks we've walked, he's like, I've seen more penises than I thought I would see walking down the street. And I was like, you don't look at people. You look in front of you and just walk on. And he was like, then how do you know where people are around you? I'm like, I don't want to know. Like, if they're going to attack me, they're going to attack me. I just know that, like, you don't look into an alcove because you don't know what you will see.
Right.
When at first I was like, oh, a naked guy, that's just someone in the summer being hot and not having boundaries with outside. But this sounds a little more terrifying than that.
Yeah. When you're naked and actively putting yourself in front of people, that's a little much.
Oh, wow.
So thank you for coming on.
Yes.
We did a terrible job of having you like introduce yourselves. Sorry. This is literally the second time we've hosted people.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
If you want to, though, now, if you would like to maybe explain how your show works, where everyone can find you, all of that.
Yeah, so our show's 3 Spooked Girls. We are a weekly podcast. Right now, we have kind of shuffled things around. So we're doing Thursday releases, but we are dropping our talks about Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Life After Lockup. I just can't shut up about it, so we had to record it.
Wait, where is that streaming at?
You can watch it on the Lifetime app. You don't have to like pay for anything. You just have to watch some ads.
Worth
It's on
it.
Hulu now.
Oh, and Hulu.
Remember
Hulu,
the other day
yes,
I was
forgot.
like going
Yes.
to find something else, but it like popped up on Hulu and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So-
Okay. That would be a good one
Yes.
for everyone to tune into, for sure. I just
Yes.
listened to your TikTok cult one that you did, and I watched that documentary. Oh, my goodness. That one was mind-blowing.
But yeah, it's totally free. It's totally free. If you don't have Hulu, go watch it that way. If you like reality TV and true crime, that's like they had a baby. But anyways, and you can find us on socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that stuff. Our handle's 3, like the number, Spooked Girls. And if you like TikTok, you can follow me at spooky_sleuth. It's kind of our unofficial page for the show. So, yeah.
Oh, nice. I love that. Okay. And you do listeners' stories as well, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. What would be the best place if anyone had a story to send in? Do you guys have an email or do you just take them through
Yeah.
social?
Oh gosh, no, we tried that and it was so hard to keep track sometimes,
Right.
or you'd get like part stories, but we take true paranormal stories, or if you have any brushes with true crime, and you can email those to us at 3spookedgirls@gmail.com. And those episodes always go up the last Monday of the month, and they are crazy.
Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine the things you get because everyone has like at least one kind of spooky thing that's happened to them in some
Right.
way, right? I mean, I can't even imagine. Well, thank you both so much. And thank you for getting petty with us today and for going along with the game. And yeah, everyone go ahead and check out 3 Spooked Girls wherever you get your podcast. And just remember, no matter the crime, big or small, in the end, we're all doomed.
Doomed to eat frogs and jumping contests.
Bye.
See ya. Thank you for listening to this special guest appearance with 3 Spooked Girls. If you want more content from us, plus ad-free episodes, check us out on Patreon. If you're a natural blonde like the King of Rock, why don't you give us a follow on our socials? Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or Threads. Live, Laugh, Larceny. And do you collect road signs like our spooky friends? If so, send us your petty crime stories at livelaughlarceny@gmail.com.
And do you know what the perfect cure for a sore throat is to me? 5-star reviews. Rate our show wherever you rate podcasts. Apple, Spotify, or Good Pods.
And with it just being 4th of July, what is that beeping, Trevin? Can you hear that, or is that just me? Okay, it just stopped. But it was just
I think it was just in her head.
Oh, maybe I'm going crazy.